Charlene Tilton. You are listening to TV Confidential.
What'd you find out, Bob? Punk, you remember a man named Wyatt Haynes?
Wyatt Haynes, yeah. He was one of our original group. Wound up at minor base camp.
When Daddy got the fever down there, was Haynes around at that time?
Well, yeah, he could have been.
Well, when Daddy got that fever, he started ranting and raving, talking about his life, family, the early years.
Yeah, he was. Why?
Well, I know who Wes Parmalee really is. Where's Mama?
She's in the house with Parmalee.
Ed Robertson along with our guest Morgan, Woodward, Punk Anderson on Dallas, The Man with No Eyes in Cool Hand Luke, and a man who has played more than 250 roles in film and television over the past 5 decades, including Boone Walton on The Waltons. This conversation with Morgan originally aired in September 2012. Morgan Woodward passed away Saturday, February 22nd at the age of 93. Morgan, we were talking before off mic. One of the fun things I love about doing this show and talking to people such as yourself is learning things about you that I didn't know about. Now, you've been an actor, a working actor for more than 50 years. We just touched on 2 of your most memorable roles, but I understand that acting was not what you originally set out to do. You originally pursued a musical background, did you not?
Yes, I did. I love opera. I wanted to be an opera singer, but unfortunately, as time went on, I realized I had a sinus condition that that prevented me from having a consistent voice. So I had to finally realize that that might not be the career that I should follow. So I've told people I gave up grand opera for horse opera.
And many of us are glad you did. But do you still follow opera? Do you still follow? You know, what sort of music do you follow?
Yes, I do. I love opera. Always will. And unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I was fortunate to do very well in motion pictures and television. But I still dream of the time that I might have stood on the Metropolitan Opera stage and done Faust, done Mephistopheles and Faust.
Yeah. Well, you know, you still got a lot of energy left. There may be time for that.
Well, at 87 years old, I don't think I've got time, but maybe I can convince myself that I do.
There you go. Now, let's see. Let me see if I got the chronology right. You went to the University of Texas. I know at one point you also thought about becoming a lawyer. Did you go to law school at University of Texas, or was that somewhere else?
Yes, I graduated from the University of Texas with a bachelor's of business administration and a minor in music in January of 1951, and I went immediately into the law school at the University of Texas, but I was in the Air Force Reserve, and I was recalled into the Air Force during the Korean War. So when I returned from Korea, I decided against going back to law school. I just really had lost any interest in going back to law school at that time.
Okay, well, let me ask you the next logical question. What led you into acting?
At the University of Texas, I had a fraternity brother by the name of Fess Parker. And when I got back, a little while after I got back from Korea, Fess Parker became one of the biggest, most important stars in the world as Davy Crockett.
He certainly did.
So when Disney, Fess knew that I had been an actor before, and so when Fess started to do Disney's first live-action motion picture, which was The Great Locomotive Chase, there was a part in it, a wonderful part, for this crazy Confederate master sergeant, and Fess went to Mr. Disney and said, Mr. Disney, I know a genuine redneck that can really play that Confederate master sergeant. So Disney said, well, have him come out and we'll have a look. So I went out, did a screen test, and got a 3-picture contract with Disney at that time. So I was very lucky to have a really good start when I came to California, to Hollywood.
Well, you mentioned Fess Parker was one of your fraternity brothers at the University of Texas. Folks, let me give you an idea of some of the other people that Morgan went to school with when he went to University of Texas. How about James Mansfield? How about Rip Torn?
Yes.
Catherine Crosby, who went on to marry Bing Crosby and whose daughter Mary shot J.R. See, it's all very circular, Morgan.
That's true. That's true. How about Pat Hingle?
Pat Hingle, yes, another one of my favorite character actors. I mean,
yes, a wonderful, wonderful actor. We were all there together.
Mm-hmm. And then, last but not least, L.Q. Jones.
L.Q. and I are still good buddies. We have Mexican food every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. And then I believe we mentioned Wagon Train was one of the shows that you did a lot of shows of. I think that you and LQ did a Wagon Train together, right?
Yes, we did. One of the few comedies that I did in my entire career. Mm-hmm. I love to do comedies, but unfortunately, since I was known as a heavy, I didn't get to do much comedy.
What is harder? I mean, comedy or drama, or does it depend on what you're asked to play?
Well, I think comedy is one of the most difficult aspects of the drama. Very difficult. You have to really be good to come across in comedy. Your timing has to be perfect.
And you have to and you have to not give away the joke. I mean, you have to play it as seriously as you can so that the humor comes across naturally instead of you trying to force it as an actor.
That's all part of it. And again, back to timing.
You're listening to a conversation with longtime film and television actor Morgan Woodward that originally aired in September 2012. Morgan Woodward passed away Saturday, February 22nd at the age of 93. Let's see, now I'm trying to remember where I read this. Another fellow Texan who was also instrumental in your career was Aaron Spelling. Was he also part of that group at the university?
Yes, absolutely, he was. Back when I was at the university going to school, now this was at a junior college, mm-hmm. Just outside of Dallas. I was working with Margo Jones in the first arena theater in America. Mm-hmm. She had the Gulf Oil Theater there in Dallas, and it was an arena theater, the first arena theater in America. I was going to school in the morning and working at the theater as an actor and other aspects of the work there. And once when I went in to interview, when I first came out here, I went in to interview for a part on the Zane Gary Theater. That was a little television show that we had.
Yeah.
I went in, the producer interviewed me, and he said, "I'm not familiar with your work." And I said, "Well, that's not unusual. I just came out here, and I just finished working at Disney." And he said, "Well, what's your background?" And I said, "Well, I started in Dallas at the Gulf Oil Theater in Dallas at Margo Jones Arena Theater." Mm-hmm. And this funny-looking little man sitting in the corner, I didn't recognize him. I didn't pay any attention to him. He jumped up and he said, "You were with Margo Jones in Dallas?" And I said, "Yes, I was." He turned to the producer and he said, "Hire him."
And that was Aaron.
At that time, Aaron Spelling was with the Dallas Little Theater.
Wow.
He had remembered.
Yeah.
That the arena theater there in Dallas, and knew that Margo was very, very selective in the actors that she chose to perform there. So I got my job, the first job in television, which was the first television show I did, because of Aaron Spelling jumping up and saying, "Hire him."
Then, of course, many years later, I know you did at least one other of Aaron's shows. You did a T.J. Hooker with Shatner, and of course, you did 2 episodes of Star Trek with Shatner.
Yes, I did. Shatner was a lot of fun to work with. He's a wonderful actor. I like Bill both personally and as an actor.
And we are having a lot of fun talking to Morgan Woodward about his roles in Star Trek, Dallas, T.J. Hooker, and of course, Cool Hand Luke. You've done so many different roles. We've mentioned a few of the iconic ones: Punk Anderson on Dallas, The Man with No Eyes. in Cool Hand Luke. When you do appearances like the autograph show, a couple of weeks ago, and some of the other events, are there one or two shows or characters that people ask you the most questions about, or does it depend?
Mostly it's Cool Hand Luke and Star Trek. Those are the shows that seem, well, both of them are cult pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Cool Hand Luke plays someplace every week. I get a residual from Cool Hand Luke practically every week.
And that's cool.
And of course, Star Trek, the original Star Treks, are very, very popular still. And at these autograph shows, people are mostly interested in Cool Hand Luke and Star Trek. But a show that I did more than any other was Gunsmoke.
Mm-hmm.
I did more Gunsmokes than any other actor in the world, and I say in the world because several actors from Europe, wanted to come over and do Gunsmoke,
mm-hmm.
and they did. But I did in the last 10 years of Gunsmoke, I did more Gunsmokes than any other actor in the world, and I'm very proud of that. And I also enjoyed doing Gunsmoke very much because the production was just top drawer in every respect.
Westerns they've made a comeback the last couple of years, Morgan. I know that I don't know whether you saw the Hatfields and McCoys.
Yes, I did.
Okay, and do you have any thoughts on why Westerns are popular again today?
Well, Westerns have always been popular, and as you know, Westerns on television, whenever they do one on television, they have a big rating.
Mm-hmm.
They don't seem to do very well in the theaters, and I think that's because there are not too many directors and too many actors who can really portray an authentic Western character. But now, of course, Longmire is now on the air on Sunday night,
mm-hmm.
and there is another show. I'm not great on names, so is it Vegas where?
That's going to start this month on CBS. Where?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and the star's name, I'm not too good on names. Who's the lead in that?
I believe Dennis Quaid plays the sheriff.
Quaid, yes.
Yeah, and Michael Chiklis plays he plays his nemesis.
That's right. That's right. So modern westerns, the old time westerns with the wagon trains and the costumes and the Indians, they were very expensive to do.
Mm-hmm.
But Longmire taking place today and Vegas with Dennis Quaid taking place today, they're not that expensive, and it's still considered a western. So I think they're going to do very well.
Yeah, and plus, the great thing about westerns is that it is great drama in its essence because it's good guys versus bad guys. It's a morality play, and everyone can relate to it.
You're exactly right. It's a morality play. Good against evil, and ultimately good triumphs evil.
Yeah. Let's see. You mentioned before, Newsweek once considered you one of the 6 most wanted heavies in film and television. When you played a bad guy, and you did that a lot early in your career, how do you approach playing a bad guy?
Imagination.
Yeah. One of my writer friends once said that when she wrote villains for television, the villain never thinks of himself as wearing a black hat. The villain thinks of himself as you're doing what he needs to do in order to, on whatever the story tells. And if Matt Dillon is in the way, the villain does what he could to avoid Matt Dillon so that he can achieve his purposes. I guess that's one of the ways to play it.
Well, that would be one of the ways to play it. I don't know that I would agree to that approach, but that certainly would be one approach.
Okay.
Every character is different, and there's a different approach to each character.
Well, Anthony Zerbe once said that whenever he played villains, he always figured every villain has a mother.
Well, I think some of the villains that I played, I don't believe the audience believed that I had a mother.
We are talking to award-winning character actor Morgan Woodward, a man who has played more than 250 roles in film and television over the past 5 decades, including The Man with No Eyes in Cool Hand Luke and Punk Anderson on Dallas. Morgan Woodward passed away Saturday, February 22nd at the age of 93. We mentioned some of the other film roles that you've done. You worked with John Cassavetes and Ben Gazzara in The Killing of a Chinese Bookie. Now, both Cassavetes and Gazzara were well-known method actors.
Yes.
Cassavetes' approach, I understand, was not for everyone. What do you remember about working with Cassavetes?
Well, if you've got a moment, I'll give you the complete story.
Please
I got
do.
a call one night about 11:30, and I thought, who in the world is calling me at this time? I knew it had to be a close friend.
Uh-huh.
So I answered the phone, and the voice said, this is John Cassavetes. And I thought, oh, yeah? Well, I thought it was my friend Ken Swafford, who does a wonderful imitation of
yeah.
somebody.
Yeah.
I went along with a joke, and I said, "Yes, Mr. Cassavetes, what can I do for you?" And he said, "I'd like to talk to you about doing a picture with me." And I said, "Sure, I'd be happy to do that." And he said, "Can you be at my office 10:30 in the morning?" And I said, "Sure, I'll be sure and be there." And he said, "Good, I look forward to meeting you." And we hung up. Well, the next morning, about 10 o'clock, I dialed his production office, and his secretary answered the phone, and I said, "Has Mr. Woodward arrived there yet?" And she said, "No, he's not due here until 10:30. And I thought, oh my God, it really was Cassavetes on the phone. So that's how that came about. That's how I got in The Killing of a Chinese Bookie. And when you talk about Cassavetes approaching his directorial technique was a little different. It most certainly was. I read the script, of course, and I thought the script was great. But when we started the picture, I think Cassavetes threw away the script. Mm-hmm. I think we outlived most of it through the whole picture.
Well, but it kind of goes back to how we began our conversation, Morgan, when we talked about playing the man with no eyes in Cool Hand Luke. I mean, that was a role where, again, you really have to draw on your ability as an actor to interpret a character where there are no lines. Now, in a situation with Cassavetes, obviously it's a different type of environment, but I would imagine when you're asked to improvise, that's got to be a good challenge, wouldn't you say?
Well, it certainly was a challenge, and I remember one scene we were doing it in Cantor's Delicatessen over on Fairfax Boulevard in Los Angeles, and Cassavetes got completely away from the script, and I literally was improvising for almost 10 minutes. I just kept going on, and I began to think, I'm going to run out of ideas pretty soon. And finally, Cassavetes calls cut, and I don't know, I suppose he used part of the scene, I don't know. But what I saw when I went to the premiere of the picture in Westwood, the picture didn't look like anything that the script I read pertained to.
But it held up.
I suppose it did. Don't know, but it was certainly an experience working with John Cassavetes.
You mentioned that you were a pilot in Korea and also World War II. Now, you've always had an interest in aviation and airplane restoration. How did you first become involved in that?
Well, I love antique airplanes. I've always loved flying since I was 16 years old. And let me correct that about World War II in Korea. I was in the Air Corps, and I was a pilot at the time, but I was not a military pilot.
Okay.
I was in a pilot training program, but by the time I got into World War II, they had so many pilots that they closed the pilot training program down. So I never became a military pilot, although I did serve in World War II and in the Korean War. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay.
But the antique part of it, that, of course, was after the war. I love the antique airplanes. They're so beautiful, like the antique cars, and I still collect antique cars. and I love showing them. So I spent a lot of my time in the restoration of both antique airplanes and antique cars.
Well, it sounds like a very fun hobby, a very fun way to pass one's time. And given that you came from an aviation background, I mean, I'm sure that adds to your enjoyment of it.
Absolutely. And although at my advanced stage, I decided 3 or 4 years ago that it probably was time for me to quit flying. I sold my airplanes, but I still have my cars. And so I'm enjoying that aspect of my hobby.
Are you still ranching? I read somewhere that you have a big spread somewhere.
Yes, I do. I have a ranch in Paso Robles, California, which is up in the wine country in the Central Coast. And I try to get up there as often as possible and get out of the hubbub, so to speak, of Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, keeps your head clear, and as Miss Ellie would say, there's nothing like being one with the land.
That's right. Right. And I have a beautiful ranch, and I love to be up there. I have a beautiful view of the world, and it's really very relaxing and just perfect to get up there and spend a few days there.
Longtime film and television actor Morgan Woodward, from a conversation that originally aired in September 2012 here on TV Confidential. Morgan Woodward passed away on Saturday, February 22nd at the age of 93. Take a quick time out, and we'll be back with more TV Confidential right after this.
TV Confidential is now on Stitcher Smart Radio. Stitcher allows you to listen to your favorite shows directly from your iPhone, Android phone, Kindle Fire, and other listening devices, on demand and on the go. Don't have Stitcher? Download it for free at Stitcher.com or in the app stores. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Cam Caricatures will keep the fun rolling at your next party, convention, or event through a live video feed. As friends or colleagues gather around the webcam, I can see them on my screen, and they can view my caricatures come to life on their own screen. The completed black and white drawing will then be emailed to you to print out. Pricing and details are at hamcamcaricatures.com. That's HAMMCAMCARICATURES.com.
Buying or selling a home can be one of the most stressful things we'll ever do in life. But it doesn't have to be. And no one knows better than our friends at Front Porch Realty Group. They're a community of realtors serving the Northern Bay Area of California that cares about their clients as individuals first and foremost. Whether you're a first-time buyer or looking to lease or sell your property in the Bay Area, Front Porch Realty Group will help you through this important transition by providing you with the right information for your situation while lessening the pain. They also work with a network of realtors throughout California who provide the same high caliber of customer service. Call Front Porch Realty Group at 415-886-7411 for a realtor referral near you. You can also visit their website, frontporchrealtygroup.com, for more information on the services they provide, including upcoming workshops and seminars. For more information, call 415-886-7411 or visit frontporchrealtygroup.com. Front Porch Realty Group. They'll find the solution that works best for you.
Uber is the mobile app that connects you with a driver for immediate transportation. Request a ride at the tap of a button and you have a driver curbside in minutes. You can choose to be driven in a black car, SUV, or you can choose UberX, the low-cost Uber for a ride in a hybrid or mid-range car. Payment is seamless and cashless, billed to your card on file with no need to tip. Enter the promo code TV Confidential after you download the app to receive a free first ride up to $20. For more information, go to get.uber.com/go/TV Confidential.